Isaiah Evans' slide is halted at pick number 33, where the Brooklyn Nets selected him and promptly traded him to the Minnesota Timberwolves, where he goes to a roster that's tailor made for the playoffs. They're poised for a deep run. This actually checks in quite nicely with my superlative, Dion. I said when J Man and I did our scouting report that Isaiah Evans is the most likely guy in this class to be an all celebration guy for a
Okay.
championship team. So if Ant can get to a ring, you're going to get a lot of Isaiah Evans clips at the national, at the excuse
A
me,
lot of
uh, yes, you're going to get a lot of that at the NBA championship
I
parade.
see you, Ant.
You're going to get that on the court. You're going to get him with champagne bottles at the parade, all of that. So, this is a guy who, despite my Tar Heel allegiances, I have to salute as like a proper hooper. He can create space in a phone booth. It seems like his shot making increases when there's a hand in his face. Doesn't necessarily have the best handle, but if you just like give him it doesn't matter because he's so efficient with his footwork at finding ways to get a shot off over defenders. I think he improved on the other end as well throughout the course of his 2 seasons in Durham. Was a real negative on that end coming in out of North Mech, but John Shire developmental track record got him right there. And again, I have to respect it. I might not like it. It is what it is. But Dion, what's your quick scout on Isaiah Evans and how he can factor in for the Timberwolves?
Um, I think he's better than what his role in the NBA will be. I want to get ahead of that. So I think he's an off the bounce creator. I think he's like a microwave scorer. If anybody plays 2K, he's got legendary microwave badge for sure. If he gets hot, I think he's one of the best players. Period. I think he has some lows that are lower than other people's lows. I think the Wolves have a lot of Isaiah Evanses already. I would
Yeah.
have really liked him on the Knicks, oddly enough. I will say though, salute Isaiah Evans. You can now say you were traded for Julius Randle. The Timberwolves traded Julius Randle in 28 for you.
Yeah, that actually is a pretty big accomplishment.
It's a fact too. Like no
Hmm.
matter what anybody says, they traded a first round pick and Julius Randle for you, and that's all they got in return. That's all they wanted. And I think that's like a pretty cool thing. Um, I believe his role in the NBA is like very minimal. Like he's going to come off the bench at like the 4 minute mark of the first quarter. He's going to hit three threes between that minute mark and the beginning of the second quarter. Then he's going to sit down. And he's gonna sit down for a little while, and then we gonna run that back sometime in the third quarter, and he's gonna average like 12 points a game in like 18 minutes, and it's
Hmm.
largely just gonna be like come in, shoot the ball every time you touch it. You miss your first two attempts, brother. You're probably done for the night. We'll probably go with Io. We'll probably go with Terrence. We're probably gonna go down the list of some other guys that we can get to. But if you hit one of your first two, green light, let it
Yeah.
fly. Let's see what you can do in like quick spurts, though. I don't believe he's playing more than 10 minutes as a rookie. This is a guy who probably has like a G League future as a rookie at least. Because just look at the guards on this roster, man. Like,
You're kind of spot like I think Terrence Shannon, if you look at his game, he's more of a rim pressure guy who can get to the 3 point shot. Whereas I think Evans improved drastically this year, like was really, really good, like in terms of finishing at the basket. Didn't get there a ton, but made the most of it when he did. He could identify a mismatch pretty easily. Had this nice little spin move he developed and could finish at the cup with his left hand, and also had some like sneaky bounce too. He's just really, really thin to where I think that can be problematic defensively. Again, at Duke, he learned how to at least care on that end and use that wingspan to his advantage. In the NBA, where it's going to be more physical, you're dealing with wings who are 230 pounds plus that he might be asked to check in spurts. That's where he probably will get targeted. But just that like heat check ability to come off the bench, and you mentioned it, man. If you can knock down your first two, you're going to get some playing time there. But
oh yeah.
uh, to your
Think
point,
Nick Young. Think Nick Young.
so
And
I
I know no one's gonna like that comparison because of some of the antics that come with Nick Young and maybe how the career fizzled out, but like, hey, Wizards Nick Young, look it up for me while I go, Riley. I want to say Wizards Nick Young averaged like somewhere between 15 and 17 points a game at one point. Like Isaiah Evans could be good for that. He
yeah.
also could be good for some of those Nick Young teams where it's like, brother, please don't put him in the game. Like, we're good right now. Um,
For
and
what
that's
it's
kind of the dichotomy of a player like Isaiah Evans.
Dion ball knower, peak year with the Wizards, 17 points per game in 2011. So good on you for that. When me and J Man did the scouting report video, I said best case scenario he's J.R. Smith, which I
I
think J.R.
like
Smith
that.
is just like an upgraded Nick Young. So
I like that.
there's a world where a championship team can use him, especially like those when JR really settled in with the Cavs and got a ring with them. He went from being a defensive liability to someone who really locked in, and you could actually you could count on for solid minutes to check a top perimeter option. And maybe Evans gets there if he can add some strength to that to his slim frame, but he is called Showtime Slim for a reason. So we'll see how much strength he can actually add. The last thing I wanted to hit on before we grade the pick, excuse me, the Wolves, they definitely do have a type when you look at the cards with TSJ. Again, more rim pressure than 3-point shooting, but still like a prolific scorer. Bones Highland still on the roster. I think
Not for long.
you think he's getting traded? Is he still under contract?
Oh,
Apologies,
I
Wolves
don't. I don't
fans.
know. There's no way he is. No, no one gave Bones Highland more than a 1 year deal. That feels egregious.
Oh yeah, you're right. He's this past year he played on a 1 year contract. That's on me. I should have looked that up before we press record.
No,
They're
you're good.
they
Who
are
would? There's no way he ever got an extension. So you're good.
there's the what's the latest news on Io?
He signed an extension the other day, 4 years, 112.
Okay. 5 years, 112.
5 years, 112.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
yesterday. Yeah, good on you for that. I thought I saw that, but wanted to confirm that before I just went out the way and said that. So yeah, there is like in some sense an uphill battle to minutes when you factor in some of the youth and the again the prolific offensive players that are IO that are TSJ. But I mean, if Bones isn't back there, you at least can get that role. And look, Bones was getting real minutes in the playoffs this year, which if Isaiah can get there by year two or something, you're probably pretty happy if you're a Wolves fan. So. Um,
And they got Dante, right?
yeah, Dante
But he
DiVincenzo is
probably
still
won't
there.
play next year, I'm assuming.
I would
Or is
guess not.
Achilles in the playoffs, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess we
he's
don't.
probably out for some time. Yeah, yeah.
Nonetheless, this is a loaded backcourt because we just mentioned all these guys. We didn't mention Anthony Edwards. So, I mean,
Well, yeah, I feel like that's a given though. I'm just looking at the
but
ancillary
I'm just saying we
pieces.
didn't mention like 50% of the backcourt minutes because he's going to play 40 a night. So that doesn't leave a ton of room. So between
Right.
Ant and Io, you have two guys that combine for like $300 million in contract. There's not a ton of burn there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got a Dante who will be back eventually. You got a Terrence Shannon Jr. who eventually is going to have to take a step into that larger role, I would assume, right?
Hmm.
You have a Jaden McDaniels who's not really going to leave the court much. This is a crowded backcourt wing grouping if you're in Isaiah Evans, but like I said, his fit is simple. Step on the court and launch the ball. And
Yep.
if you make it, you'll stay. If you miss it, you probably won't. And that's okay.
So I think when you consider the fit, when you consider the position of the team that's drafting him to use him, when you even consider the player who's someone who is very comfortable in his role and kind of know what he does well, I'm gonna give this pick an A, Dion. I think this is the best case. This is like the one of the best case franchises for Isaiah Evans to find a path to success. So it gets an A for me.
Um, B plus. I think with everything we said, I think I'd probably just rather have Malik Thomas,
Yeah,
and he goes
little.
the next pick. So I think B plus just for that reason.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think Thomas gives you a little bit more shot creation upside and probably more defensive potential as well. So we'll get into that when we react to Malik Thomas, who is heading to Cleveland. But nonetheless, good pick for Minnesota. Good value here in the second round.